Hello, Chris Godden here, owner of Balance Wellness. We're a specialty health clinic focused on all natural, evidence-based solutions for stress, pain, and sleep issues. And today I wanted to talk about icing injuries specifically. It's something that we've all kind of been trained to do ever since the term RICE, which is an acronym coined in the 1970s by Dr. RICE stands for rest, ice, compression, and elevation. You've probably heard, if you haven't heard of the acronym, you've heard of some combination of those for when you injure yourself, such as like a sprained ankle, for example. The doctor that developed that method, that coined that term, has since come out and said, the research does not support this. And there's been plenty of research over the last decade or so that shows that particularly the first two parts, so the rest and ice, are really not going to help the healing process. And when we're talking about ice, the reason that does not help is because when you are icing tissue, you are constricting the blood vessels around that injured area. We want fresh blood to be able to get into the injured area so that it can clean up the injury. White blood cells, hormones, red blood cells, all the nutrients that are in the blood, those are necessary in order for the tissue to heal. In this case, that inflammation, the heat that comes from a sprained ankle and the swelling, that's actually helpful. It's what you want to be happening in your body so that the tissue can actually heal. And when you're icing that area, you are slowing down that natural process. So what should you do instead? Well, first of all, if you suspect a broken bone, or if you have an injury and you fall on your head and you lose consciousness, or you suspect a concussion, you need to see a doctor. Those are not things that you can treat on your own. But if you're expecting a strain or a sprain, a couple of things that you can do for yourself. Number one is you can gently massage around the area to help blood out of the area and back into the area. So blood flow in and out of that area is going to help get fresh blood in and kind of the stagnant blood out. So gently massaging around the area. If there's pain, then you don't want to do it that hard, but very gently to kind of move that fluid in and out would be helpful. And then there are liniments, particularly liniments with Chinese herbs in them that can be very, very helpful at reducing the pain in the short term, but also, again, helping that blood flow into the area so that the healing process can occur faster. If you have questions about either of these, or if you have an injury and you want a sports medicine professional to check it out and see what we would be able to do for it and what you should be doing for it, I highly encourage you to give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a message on Instagram. I'd be happy to help. Phone number is 512-676-5494, or you can find out all the information about me and my clinic here in Austin at balanceatx.com. Talk to you soon.